Some of you have been saying this since earlier in the week as we get set for the Chiefs and the Bengals this weekend that I say Bengals. I don't know what I say. It sounds like
it that way.
Bengals to me. How do I say Bengal? Bengals? Bengals?
The Bengals.
The Bengals?
Bengals. I probably pronounce like B-I-N-G.
Bengals?
Yeah, Bengals, which is not right either. It's Bengals.
So it's Bengals? I mean, what do I have to do here? I don't know. If you're hearing Bengals, I don't know what to say.
Hey, we say Jaguars around here, so, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I don't know. Whatever they are.
I was going to add, we need to go down to Cincinnati this weekend and check on our property because Chiefs fans are living rent-free down there. They are having a stadium. They're watching the game at the stadium and re-showing the AFC championship game, I think. Or either that or the one where they won here.
Yes.
They're showing that and then showing the game at the stadium.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So that would have been the 2021 season, 2022 of January, when they came back, of course, and beat the Chiefs in the second half to get to the Super Bowl, which they went on to lose.
Yep.
Okay. Well, enjoy that, Cincinnati. We'll
just have a beautiful afternoon on the riverfront.
We'll look at our Super Bowl banners from the last couple of years. And
3 of them.
Yeah.
4 in total.
Exactly right.
The Bengals were happy to get out of Ohio. I heard that, cats are having some trouble there.
Take the day off, Mark.
Way to go there, Mark. Way to go, buddy. That's pretty good for 7:23 on a Friday, man. I'm still digging out.
Tied everything together.
Yes. Man, my brain's still a little foggy after being at T-Mobile last night where Tucker Carlson was doing that show with Megyn Kelly, which it was good to see a lot of you out there. It was incredibly normal in case you're a hater and you thought it was like some kind of big weird event. I just wanted to see what it was all about. And Tucker, he puts on a very unique and good show. And I to be at a show like that in an arena, it's weird to be at T-Mobile and like it's not a concert obviously or something. So that made it a little bit different since I don't go to like comedy shows and things of that nature. But we have too much fun on this show every morning. Who needs a comedy show? So it was different. And it was cool, and the place was packed, and we've got some videos up on my X account at Pete Mundo. You can see them there, and it links all back to the KCMO Talk Radio page. So speaking of musicians, Bengals, Bongles, whatever you want to call them, there's another musician that's obviously getting some headlines, and that's Taylor Swift, who, by the way, Megyn Kelly absolutely crushed last night. And we put those videos up on the KCMO Talk Radio X and Instagram page and the Facebook page, too. So she, of course, endorsed Taylor Swift after the debate on Tuesday. But now, according to the Daily Mail, so you take it with a grain of salt, but the Daily Mail is reporting that Travis Kelce is going to be endorsing Kamala Harris at some point in the near future. That's the report from the Daily Mail. Now, it's one thing for Travis Kelce to date somebody who is Taylor Swift and she comes out and endorses Kamala Harris, which is not a shock. She did it for Joe Biden. Now, I didn't think she'd do it, so I was dead wrong. And I readily admit that. I was dead wrong about the whole thing. But it's not a shock that if she comes out and endorses, we know who she's going to endorse, right? But Travis Kelce coming out and endorsing Kamala Harris just feels to me like a guy who's being held hostage. Because there is absolutely zero reason for Travis Kelce to do that. He can come out and he can say, I support my girlfriend's decision to do what she feels like she needs to do or wants to do. Like, you can say, I'm a loyal boyfriend. I'm here for her. I support her. She supports me. And that's that. And I would, just respect that. But nobody cares about Travis Kelce's endorsement. All he can do is hurt himself. Like, you tell me, I think the Swift endorsement's a bit overblown because we know how most of her fans are going to break. They didn't need Taylor Swift to confirm to them how she was going to vote. Maybe a small percentage did, but not a ton. But you tell me, who is out there in this election cycle, in this environment, who's a fan of Taylor Swift, but wasn't quite convinced that the Taylor Swift endorsement of Kamala Harris is enough? They are waiting for Travis Kelce. Travis freaking Kelce. And I love Travis Kelce. I will cheer on Travis Kelce if he scores a touchdown on Sunday at Arrowhead. I'm taking my brother. We're going to have a good time. But Travis Kelce, with all due respect, is not the deepest thinker on the planet. Like, he's funny. He's kind of the meathead from high school that we all knew who was a really great football player who ends up getting to the NFL. But no one's like, I'm really curious to get Travis Kelce's take on these tariffs that Donald Trump's proposing. I'd really like Travis Kelce's take on tax policy, said no one ever. 913-408-7957. I want to hear from you on this because, I don't think he's going to kill himself. Like, everyone's going to root for Travis Kelce still. It's just going to be like, what are you doing? What are you getting out of this? Unless he's trying to get another Pfizer commercial on the books. Mike's in Olathe. What's up?
Hey, the first thing that comes to mind is a famous saying. If Travis Kelce endorses Kamala Harris, someone needs to just sit there and yell at him and go, hey, stay in your lane, you jabroni.
Stay in your lane, jabroni. How about this? Know your role and shut your mouth, right? Since he likes to quote wrestlers and 80s rock stars and the whole thing. Red Friday, it's great to be here on KCMO. Daily Mail reporting that Travis Kelce is set to make an announcement very soon and endorse Kamala Harris with his girlfriend Taylor Swift, which just feels to me, if you're Travis Kelce, like absolute, not career suicide, but just what's the point? If you're going to be at Arrowhead this weekend, probably at least 60%, and that might be a low number, is going to go vote for Donald Trump this year. So why do it? I mean, everybody knows probably where Travis Kelce's at, right? Like, I don't think Taylor Swift is dating and potentially going to marry a diehard Trump supporter. That's just my hunch. I could be wrong. I know there's plenty of people with relationships where they differ politically, but something tells me that's probably not the case for Taylor Swift. Although she does like the all-American macho man football player, which I find interesting, which most of the time those people lean a certain way. But if Kelce's not that guy, whatever. I'm going to root him on. Scores a touchdown this weekend. It's all good. But why would he throw himself into this whole thing? Everyone probably knows what's going on, but why bother? Like, who is he trying to prove it to? Unless he's so whipped, he has no choice, which is possibly what's going on here. 913-408-7957 if he does end up doing it. Christine's in Overland Park. She's on KCMO. Hello, Christine. Good morning.
Hey, Pete. Good morning. I've got 4 daughters. They're now ages 19 to 26. And one thing that may be a good outcome of these endorsements is that age group and younger starts to take notice of something other than TikTok and fashion and makeup and, sports or whatever, and maybe has a discussion about it with their parents if their parents, are aware that they're interested in that at all, and start to think about some things outside of their normal sphere of thinking. So I know that it's an unusual endorsement and it doesn't have as much weight as other people, but it might start the conversation to those kids. The second thing is,
you don't think it's going to have the impact that like the media is claiming that it will?
Well, again, I have 4 daughters, 19 to 26. I mean, you have to drag them to the polls to vote. Mm-hmm. Like bribe them with money or threaten them. So the 26-year-old does it on her own now because she's smart enough and makes her own money and realizes, hey, I don't want to pay all my taxes to somebody else. Mm-hmm. But the other ones, they're still on our paycheck. So I'm not super worried that they're going to all go register and all go vote. I'm not that worried about that. I would love them to start to have conversations about stuff, though. But the other thing, I was at the Tucker thing last night too, and when Megyn Kelly's like, if you're a basketball player, play basketball. If you're an actor, act, mm-hmm. but stay in your lane. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of a way to sort of shut people down. Now, granted, you've got to take the opinion with a grain of salt. Like, what do they really know? And go research for yourself. And not everybody will do that. But I don't like to shut people down. Everybody should be able to have their opinion, and we then filter it out. So mm-hmm. I don't like telling people stay in their lane because that's a nice way to shut down discussion because, I don't know enough about it, so maybe I just won't talk about it.
It's more of, and it's a great point, Christine, and thank you for the call. It's a great point. I heard Megan say that last night, too. And I generally would disagree, like when it comes to Harrison Butker, who also was at the show last night, by the way. Tucker put a photo of himself with Megyn Kelly and Harrison Butker on his Instagram page. I would agree in the sense that you want to do something on your own time, like Butker, go out, and he didn't promote it, but Tucker had it on his social media feed where he's at this show, he's a part of this event, more power to him. But I think about it more from Travis Kelce's perspective, like the people that have made you wealthy, which obviously is your own talent, but also your fans here in Kansas City. What are you bringing to the table for them? How does that help your relationship with them? If you're an athlete at the height of your profession, you're beloved in your city by Democrats and Republicans, why put that at risk in this divisive moment? So I'm all about more conversation, and I totally see what you're saying, but then I look at it from a business perspective, and it's like, well, why? It's not like Travis Kelce's going to go on the New Heights podcast and really break down foreign policy. What are you laughing at, John? What are you laughing? Are you just trying to think of him trying to break down the Israel-Hamas conflict? Because that would be pretty funny.
He might do better than Harris, but only slightly.
See, Jason's the brains of the operation. That's like the little secret of the whole show. Jason is the brains. Travis is kind of, I mean, God bless him. He's funny, but he's kind of like the meathead sidekick for the most part. So you look at it and you say, okay, what is the benefit to him out of it? I mean, if he just feels really compelled to go endorse Kamala Harris, okay. But if he wasn't dating Taylor Swift right now, you think he's really doing that? I don't. Not for a second. 913-4087-95.7 on KCMO. Jim, go ahead. You're in Blue Springs. Jim going once. Jim going twice. And let's go to Kate. Kate, you're on KCMO in Kansas City. Good morning, Kate.
I have one word. Travis is henpecked.
Well, that's more than one word.
Well, henpecked. He's henpecked.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Kate. That's fine with me. Yeah, I think there's certainly an element to that, to what's going on with Travis Kelce. But then I'm like, if I'm Travis Kelce and you've got a girlfriend who's like, you must endorse in this election, and if not, there's going to be a price to pay. No, that's not quite how this is going to work here, okay? I'm Travis Kelce. I was somebody before you showed up, just to be very clear. Like, I was still a famous future Hall of Famer tight end. Now I'm like famous, not just football famous. So, yes, things did go to the next level. But it's not like Travis Kelce's some schlub on the street corner here. He is still somebody who's got, a lot to say and a lot of, very compelling storylines to share with the people of Kansas City and the country. I'm just not sure I want to hear it when it comes to what's going on with, his politics. 913-408-7957. Pete, is he the new Colin Kaepernick? No. Not at all. Not even close. Colin Kaepernick is his own animal, okay? That was totally different. That was a guy on the downside of his career who was trying to make a statement in the moment and get himself to be somebody important. That's what Colin Kaepernick was. Travis Kelce's not that by any stretch of the imagination. Travis Kelce's on his own level compared to Colin Kaepernick. It's not even close. Mike is in Shawnee. Hey, Mike, good morning. Happy Friday, buddy.
Good morning, Pete. I was at the Tucker show last night, and did you know that Andy Reid was there?
I did not. Are you certain on that?
Got a picture. Well, I got a picture with him, and other fans had pictures with him, too. He was standing in section 121 in the concourse, had a all-black outfit on with red trim.
It wasn't one of those fake Andy Reid guys that are around town, right? It was the real deal?
Yeah, I don't know. He sure looked like Andy Reid to me.
I'm kidding. People were taking pictures with him, though?
Yeah, they were.
Okay. Very cool.
This deal on Taylor and Travis.
Yeah.
If Travis does do this endorsement, I think the Chiefs ought to trade him to San Francisco 49ers so they can both relish in their values in San Francisco.
Yeah, that seems.
That's what I think.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. I did not see. I know Harrison Butker was there last night. I got a chance to meet Tucker and Megan before the show down below T-Mobile, and they were both very pleasant, very nice. Tucker was very appreciative for coming on this show back in June. He goes, "I think you helped sell this place out." And then I'm like, you guys did a lot of advertising as well. So, don't sell yourself short here. I mean, you're Tucker Carlson. But I appreciate the compliment. And by the way, he's like, who's that producer I talked to? Man, that guy's got a set of pipes. I'm like, oh, John Anthony? Oh, yeah.
Talking about Mark.
No, that was you, John. He was great. It was great to have him on the show back in June. And I know the Kansas City Star was probably very triggered by it. I did not see Quentin Lucas there last night. I thought he might be front row, but I guess he got caught up in traffic or something.
Suites.
Yeah, that's right. 913-408-7957. Angela's in Liberty. Hi, Angela. You're on KCMO. Good morning.
But I guess he got caught up in traffic or something.
Angela, you are on KCMO.
913-408-7957.
All right, Angela, let's go to Timothy. Hey, Timothy, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Mundo, I love your show. I get to listen to it quite a bit. Just wanted to say, whenever I sit down to watch a football game, I don't think about my house payment. I don't think about my insurance, my job. I don't think about all the politics. And you're right in that for me, man. Now when I see Kelce, I'm going to think politics. That stinks.
Yeah, it's just not what we want from that perspective. And to me, it's different than Harrison Butker in May going to a Catholic college to give a commencement speech on his values, right? Like, that's different. He didn't come out and endorse somebody, although we probably know who Harrison Butker is going to vote for. We can come to a very obvious conclusion on that based on the fact that, he's given the speeches he's given. He's done the media since then he's done, which, by the way, we got to get him on the show. He has been to the Tucker Carlson show last night. Like, all those things can bring reasonable people to an obvious conclusion on where he's going to go. But Travis Kelce putting something on social media potentially, which is what the Daily Mail's reporting, that he's going to vote for Kamala Harris. Like, wow, I never would have thought Taylor Swift's boyfriend would be endorsing Kamala Harris. Can't believe
Talk
that.
about a bombshell.
Wow. Never saw that one coming, John.
Well, I think of the string of, what was that? Was it White Dudes for Harris? Was that what that was called?
Yes,
and
White Dudes for Harris.
The cameo video appearances, and I was trying to sandwich Travis somewhere in the sequence, going, where do you fit in there, Travis?
Well, he's like one of the seven, so there's a small list, and he's one of them. The other six are soy boys in California.
We had the guy that was in the movie. I can't remember his name. The Frozen movie, right?
Oh, yeah, Josh Gad.
That guy,
That's right. Josh Gad.
So if I were Travis, before I open my mouth, I would look around and see what company he might be included in and which parties he'll get invited to in the future.
Yeah,
versus
who else was in the White
versus
Dudes?
his regular mode of life. Where it's like, say nothing and continue your regular lifestyle, or say something and join these guys.
Yeah, gosh. It's like, I know he desperately wants to be in Hollywood, but dude, what's it really worth? I mean, come on. You just signed $100 million podcast deal. How much do you have to sell your soul to potentially be in Hollywood? Come on. Mark Ruffalo was also on that call. Mark Hamill and Jeff Bridges. Not exactly murderer's row of macho men there, okay? Jeez. Oh, my goodness. Come on, Travis. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. I'm begging you here on KCMO on a Friday. We all know what you're going to do anyway. Don't rub it in our faces. Because trust me, you're not moving the needle. You're not. I think these folks get so big-headed and so egotistical about themselves that once you've become super famous and you've made all the money in the world, what else do you chase, right? What are the three things in large part that people chase? Fame, money, what's left? Power. When you've got the fame and you've got the money, human instinct, oftentimes for worse, then chases power. That's why rich people want to be in politics too. They've made their money. What do they want then? Fame and power. If they're a no name and they've got a lot of money, they then chase the fame and the power. So those are the three things that people end up, unfortunately, chasing in life. I don't agree with it, but that's just human nature, sad to say. And if one is missing, you're chasing that one. And that's the one left for Travis Kelce. Power. 913-408-7957. And if you didn't hear Megyn Kelly last night, I was there. I recorded this part where she is going off on Taylor Swift.
So I don't go on the internet much. And then I come here and someone's like, are you going to ask her about Taylor Swift?
I've got thoughts.
So it's a sincere question. Why are people telling me to ask you that? And do you think Taylor Swift, who apparently endorsed Kamala Harris just the other day, will have... I know. I'm not here to endorse Taylor Swift, trust me. Will this have an effect? What's the significance of this?
I don't know whether it will have an effect. I mean, supposedly some 350,000 people have rushed to some website to register to vote or to express interest in potentially doing that. But young people don't generally vote. And I don't think people who at this point in the election cycle had not registered to vote are not going to do it because of Taylor Swift. But let's set that to the side. Screw you, Taylor Swift.
So it got some applause. Now, I'm not as angry about it as Megyn Kelly is, just because I don't believe it moved the needle as much as maybe Megyn Kelly thinks that it does. But she kind of contradicted herself a little bit there when she said, young people don't vote, but screw you. It's fair to be frustrated if you're a parent, right? And my daughters are younger, so this doesn't really apply to me as much. But, you know, if your daughters are older and you spent your hard-earned money on taking your kids to a concert of Taylor's, which costs a fortune, you got to take out a second mortgage to do it. So when that happens and you've spent your money on it, and then she endorses somebody whose values you completely disagree with, I get it. Like, that's just annoying. But it also shouldn't be shocking. Like, if you were willing to buy your kids tickets to Taylor Swift last year here at Arrowhead, and now you're like, I can't believe it. She endorsed who? It's like, where you been? You're surprised that you spent money on somebody who is voting for Kamala Harris? Like, where you been? You can't really be outraged because we all knew this was a possibility. Now, I admit, and I was wrong, I didn't think it happened, but we all knew it was a possibility. And it's not like it's a surprise that she came out and endorsed somebody who wasn't Donald Trump. So can't be too upset about it. 913-408-7957. Real quick, Tammy and Shawnee, what do you got for me?
Good morning. Hey, you know what? I just say, who cares what Taylor Swift thinks or says? No one does. These people that consider themselves Swifties, somebody needs to check their ID, because if they're over the age of 13 and they consider themselves a Swiftie, they've got a problem. They shouldn't have a voter ID card.
Thank you, Tammy. Appreciate it.